I think the key here is to find a way to share transparency, um, to bring the best product you can get to the table of consumers, but at the same time to tell to the producer, you're doing this good, you're not doing this good.
Herman, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so you are the founder of Smart Natural Circle, import and distributing exotic fruits in Canada. I'm just wondering, how do you even get into this business? And why does this interest you at all?
Well, it started about 10 years ago. I come from engineering background, and then I did political science, international relations, and I ended up in the hotel industry. So a bit of uh, this and that, and I ended up in everything. But once there was one thing that I always wanted to do here in Canada, um, and was to do something for Colombia, like have a job that would bring me to Colombia sometimes, which is my country of origin, or be related to Colombia somehow. Uh, so we signed a peace agreement with the guerrillas of Colombia in 2016. It was like a long negotiation. There were some good things about it, some bad things about it, but it was something real, tangible. After over 50 years of war, let's say, there was something get done. So it became very political. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. In my case, I wanted to go beyond the political and do something about it. So that's how I ended up approaching producers that used to be related to Coca production, or somehow that they were involved in some of the process of this, and they wanted to get out of it because of being having a drug dealer as a boss is definitely uh, not always a good idea. It's not just about money. Sometimes they don't even get paid,
Mm.
but it's always a threat. So they wanted to do something for themselves. A lot of people wanted to work in the what we call exotic fruits, passion fruit, granadilla, golden berries, mangosteen, baby mangoes, any things like that. So my way to help was to get in touch with people that wanted to do this and promote it here. So I started. I've never really got into the spreading the word. I didn't get time. Didn't get time. Actually, at first, I didn't even finish the business plan because I started selling, and I was like, okay, it's selling, it's working. Okay, let's just go for it and do it. So I got into it, and I worked under a hashtag, the real Colombian treasures. A few years after, I realized that I couldn't just do the work with the small producers that got into this because of standards, quality, volumes that go up and down, stability of prices, and so on. So I started to get into a little bit bigger than small producers, and that's how I ended up in doing this. If I would have go back time, I wouldn't have studied industrial engineering. I would have studied agriculture engineering or something like that. I'm fascinated about it.
I mean, this is probably one of the craziest introductory minutes I've heard, and I've done like I told you over like 100 of these discussions, but it's so fascinating. Um, so multiple questions I'll shoot you. First, was it difficult for these producers to transition to something else, or was it a natural evolution for them and they were excited about a change?
It was a natural because they were already like growing things. Even sometimes they weren't actually producing anything related to coca, but they would have to go through paths that
Mhm.
were contaminated, let's call it. So it was like getting the fruit out of their farms was hard. It's still hard today because the south of Colombia is still under problem of coca production.
Mm.
So to help these people is amazing, but if they can't get it, I still need to sell it. I still need to do feasible. So for them, it wasn't, and still today is not easy. Now I work with closer areas to the big cities. They're clean. They're not. That's what I was saying. I couldn't just work with them, but I need to get out and work with more, like, let's say, cleaner areas of the country, that they're more stable, and then that I can supply without issues.
Mm.
So that was the first thing. The second thing is that once they grow, because they put so much chemicals in the ground in the coca fields to protect the plants, to make them produce more, but also because the government, especially the ones from before, they used to spread glyphosate in big amounts.
Oh, what is that?
Glyphosate, it's chemicals that kill everything. They kill the coca leaves, the coca plant, but they also kill anything that's around, contaminates water. Is extremely nocive for the environment.
Sounds like
So
a very bad solution for a.
it's really bad, especially because they can't grow anything after. So
Exactly.
only a few things can grow after, because the environment somehow it's a very it goes up and it cleans up itself. Let's say many years takes, but in some cases it can work. So there's some products that can or products that can be grown after. Cacao, it's one of them. So cacao can be produced and clean in a good environment, because that's the other thing. You can also produce passion fruit, but then it's going to be contaminated with everything, so it's not going to be good for sale. But cacao is a very good example, and there are a few others that can grow nicely. So it's not a good transition. It's not easy, even if it's natural for them to just grow something. It wasn't easy.
Mm. Herman, excuse my naivete because I don't know much about agriculture, but is it is is Colombia and the people you're working with, why is it a location where you can grow these so-called exotic fruits? Is it because the terrain allows it and it it's not possible to do it in other places? Is it like specifically the terrain in Colombia, or was it a solution that you've created?
There's certain varieties of fruits that are endemic, and that they can only produce it in Colombia. In no other place in the world you can produce exactly the same flavor of the fruit. I'll give you, for instance, mango. The variety of mango that I bring, it can only be produced not even in the whole Colombia, just in certain areas, because of its. We have a mountain that is 5,800 meters, and it's right next to the sea.
Wow.
So it's a snowy mountain in the middle of the Caribbean. It's beautiful. So next to it, a little bit south of it, there is like a sort of microclimate that allows this mango to be produced. And they try to bring the seed to different places. Ecuador tries, Venezuela. They have great mangoes. Like,
Mm.
not don't get me wrong. They have great mangoes all over the world. The mangoes, in fact, are Asians, so they have great mangoes. Nam Doc Mai is one of my favorite mangoes. It's produced in the Philippines and Vietnam. So and we produce it as well in Colombia, but it's not as good as the one from there. But this variety of mango, it's only in Colombia, in certain area. Now, it's also my duty to work with Colombia. My parents grew me with some um, mind that Colombia, it's a blessing, and even that we were victims of the war, or not we well not the war, but like some of the explosions and the because I can't really call it a war, because it wasn't a constant thing that I would have seen, but it's more like the conflict in Colombia is more in the regions,
Mm.
not really in the big cities, but still sometimes you were touched by some of this conflict. So in my case, we were victims of it, and even we can call it survivors. But so that's my duty, is not to hate the country, to hate what happened, but actually to see what can I do. So that's why I push Colombia so much. I bring fruits from Ecuador, from Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica as well. It's extremely advanced for all these things. Peru we bring as well, and I had a chance to bring from Brazil as well. But I focus on Colombia because that's my duty.
Mm. And do you feel like people here recognize the difference? Like, for example, if you have this Colombian fruit, do you feel like it becomes an acquired taste and people here will look for it specifically? Or
Certain things, yes. In general, they don't. People only started looking the origin of the fruit just now with the tariffs and the game of our neighbors, where we want to focus on the production, the local production, or help small uh, producers from all the countries in the world. So that's why if it's Mexican, it's good, we buy. If it's from the States, unfortunately for now, we try to avoid it. It's kind of a bit of a not a full general mentality, but so in case of Colombia, only they started realizing that it was Colombian before. Of course, in coffee, they always search for it, but in fruits in general, they I don't think they would notice. We haven't shared the word that it's Colombian that strongly.
do you feel like this is an opportunity, what's happening right now in North America, or do you see it as like a disaster?
Well, there is always bad and in the good, and there's always good in the bad. There has to be an opportunity. I hope it's a more um, momentarily thing. We import a lot of things. We might because I have a second company, and with him, we he especially imports from Egypt, from even from Israel. A lot of the onions that we eat here are from Israel. And other countries, we try to like go beyond issues and try to because at the end the problem is the price for the consumer. That's what we try to be the best as possible.
I mean, you have this attachment to your Colombia, but you're also a businessman and you're doing business. Well, you're mentioning the Middle East, you have South America, you're importing to Canada. So I'm wondering, what's the vision here? What are you trying to do? What's the long-term goal here?
It used to be become the best. I call myself a producer because we have now 8 projects, like small farms here in Costa Rica, Colombia.
Like you own the farms?
No, we don't own the farms. We own the fruit that is produced in the farm.
Okay, okay.
That will sustain what it's produced, and then we I wanted to be like the best provider or supplier of fruits into Canada. But now I see opportunities to look beyond. Like other countries are interested in dealing with South American products or Latin American products. In fact, I have sold fruits in the Middle East, to Dubai and to Kuwait.
Mm.
So we're I think we one of the keys that I try to follow is to adapt because that's what I lack at the beginning. At the beginning, it was only about the operation, how to make it work, how to get from point A to B. In fact, during COVID, I was bringing fruits, Bogota. Mostly I do it by air. So I was doing Bogota, Frankfurt, Munich, Montreal, or Munich, Vancouver. So if I'm selling an ecological fruit, I'm like, what am I doing? But I needed to sustain my sales. And then our lines of Bogota, Montreal directly with Air Canada were not available. So I had to do Lufthansa, which was a great airline, but it was not healthy for the environment, not very sustainable. So I think so I was saying my operation was my only concern and not the vision So consistency and continue doing what you're doing, it's very important, but also to adapt. And right now, just remaining on exotics is not feasible.
Mm.
So I'm also doing tropicals. Tropicals is more like coconut and plantains and yuca, like manioc and like roots, ginger, turmeric, things like that. And it's my challenge is to keep on discovering which ones are the best products to move. But after all, how can I share and how can I tell the world to remain eating healthy? I think that's the vision. My question today is still, am I selling to wholesalers so they can distribute, or can I bring processed food and sell it myself directly into to stores? I can't tell you exactly what is my vision is not exact today, not anymore. It's not.
I appreciate the transparency, but in your position right now, there's so many different routes you can take because you have the lines of distribution. And right now, you were talking about the exotic and expanding beyond that, but it can go even to a lot more different things as well. I mean, if the roots are planned, maybe you can go beyond foods, maybe it can go something else. But right now, let's say that you stick to that. There's just the portfolio of fruits that you have can grow so much, and the number of countries you operate in can grow so much because Latin America as a whole is a huge part of the world that is, I feel, can offer a lot more because I spent a significant amount of time in the Middle East. I don't see much of Latin American products. There is some, but I feel like there's a lot of a big opportunity there as well.
Yes, definitely. It's a great market. Um, I think the key here is to find a way to share transparency, um, to bring the best product you can get to the table of consumers, but at the same time to tell to the producer, you're doing this good, you're not doing this good. How do you do it? By being transparent about the claims.
Mm,
If there is a problem, let's share it. Um, let's lose together and let's win together.
mm,
I have the opportunity of work with honest clients that claim uh, in a fair point. At certain points, I find others that they take advantage of the producers and they want to, they want to still sell something that it's but under claim. I mean that they can say we lost these fruits. I'm sorry, I cannot pay it, but then they're still gonna sell it for a cheaper price or something. But in my case, my line of clients have been very honest, and I have actually some clients that have given me amazing opportunities to try things with me, just expecting that if they don't do well, I can help them and support them and let's lose together. Um, so I think that's the key of what have brought me here, um, like loyalty and honesty and transparency. My producers are the producers that I have, they're amazing. Even the ones that I don't work with anymore, they because of their own issues, I have great memories with them. So I think that's the key of this agricultural business.
Herman, from engineering to hospitality to now importing, exporting fruits, it's such a crazy life, roller coaster that you've had. But I see now in the way you're talking, you're doing something that you love and you're really passionate about it. I think you have so much more to do. I really thank you for this conversation. It was an eye opener for me, and I hope you keep growing and we'll stay in touch.
Antoine, thank you so much.